Senator Kennedy was just talking about transit dollars, and I know you haven't been able to give us a lot of specifics on the ride-sharing proposal, but in there is a surcharge that would go 5.5%, and a portion of that, 27+%, would go to local transit authorities. Do we have any sense on dollars that might generate at this point?
I don't. I do not.
And the only other question was, do we know if those dollars, I know DOT is going to have a role in that, are they going to go straight to the transit, authority, or you?
Well, I think that's part of the negotiation. I would imagine. I don't know that answer either. How the structure would be built out.
We'll hope that that might be a way to provide some
Sure.
resources. Also, you've had a number of questions on the signage. Just a couple things. You mentioned the number of signs you put up. Do we know and I can't remember it, but you said it offhand, or said it as part of your testimony. Do we know the total cost of that as well?
Right, I do. So DOT installed 374 signs. So the materials, the signs, the materials, fabrication was $3.1 million. The installation was $2.3 million. So a total of $5.4 million.
And I was going to Buffalo, not to see Senator Kennedy, but as I was traveling there the other day, I noticed that these signs, some of those signs toward Buffalo, I haven't seen other places, were bent. Whether it was from, heavy winds or whatever. If they've been, they're on those were on the thruway, so it's their problem, I guess. Have you seen problems with the materials that you had for those? I just saw the posts, not the signs themselves, were bent. And maybe Buffalo just has tougher winds than other places. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'd heard, but I don't know the answer to that. We've had no wind damage or damage to the signs that DOT has installed.
And then just finally, the Pave New York program, I know you've talked about and the formula of that following CHIPS, but it's not the exact formula of CHIPS, I think. And as we look at that, I'm just saying, and you mentioned part of the negotiations, but I guess I would say it follows it percentage-wise, but it doesn't drive the total pot quite that way. And so just if we might look at that to maybe more closely follow CHIPS.
We had looked at that in terms of the ratio on the formula, but we'll go back and take a look at that.
Thank you very much.